Michetti and Paolo De Cecco. In architecture was relevant the concept of continuity between exterior, interior and furniture, that spread in private villas, industrial buildings, cinemas, theaters and exhibition halls. Abruzzo Contemporary Architecture. After the season of restorations of medieval churches, in Abruzzo architectural art had its maximum experimental center, Pescara. In fact, after a period of stagnation from the 80s to the early 20s, in which the most important architecture was the La Nave di Pietro Cascella, from 2009, with the inauguration of the Ponte del Mare and the Ponte Flaiano in 2017, the Adriatic city has turned to becoming an artistic reference point in Abruzzo. However, in favor of this new modern aspect of the city, its building and identity history was sacrificed in a few decades. Due to aggressive interventions, they were also carried out in the delicate context of the small buildings of Old Pescara in Porta Nuova, as in the case of Viale d'Annunzio and Piazza Garibaldi, so much so that Corso Mantonò, the main artery of the ancient city of Pescara, appears suffocated by these new buildings instead on Via dei Bastioni and Piazza Unione. Renzo Piano's Auditorium. The Auditorium del Parco, also known as the Auditorium del Castello, is a complex for musical and theatrical use located in L'Aquila, within the park of the Spanish fort. Born from an idea by Claudio Abbado and designed by the famous architect Renzo Piano, it was realized as a sign of solidarity after the destruction of the 2009 earthquake. It consists of 3 cubes containing services to the public and artists, and one containing the actual room. The 3 volumes, made entirely of wood, are connected to each other by iron and glass, walkways and stairs. The room has a raised stage with a capacity of 30 musicians, surrounded by a double audience about 250 seats. The scenography of the room, red in color, recalls the spruce with which part of the structure was made. The seats are also made of wood and covered in red canvas. Inside the structure, a wooden acoustic panel system ensures perfect acoustics. Around the auditorium, about 200 trees have also been planted for a total wooden cubic capacity, equivalent to that used in the construction of the building. What to eat in Abruzzo? The best typical food you must try. If you think of Italy, food is probably the first thing that comes into your mind, and Abruzzo is definitely one of the greatest examples of how this proud national tradition is kept up. The Abruzzese cuisine is deeply influenced by the region's location and multifaceted soul that stretches from the heart of the Apennines to the Adriatic Sea and embraces an amazing coastline, beautiful lakes, breathtaking mountains, and 3 national parks. Antipasti will give you an initial but quite complete picture of regional traditions. Here is a list of what you can't miss. Ventricino, probably one of the most widely known products of the area, celebrated in many local food festivals and often rewarded as the best Italian salami. It is a cured sausage of leg, loin and shoulder pork mixed with sweet and piquant red pepper, fennel seeds, black pepper and salt. Deep red in color, it will surprise you with a delightful chili kick. Also, make sure you don't miss the salsicciotto frentano, a pork sausage made essentially with high-quality lean cuts and simply flavored with salt and pepper, thus considered one of the lowest-fat national salami. Mortadella di Cappotosto, Abruzzo's personal spin on the popular Italian cut mortadella, prepared from lean cuts of pork with a small addition of bacon. Salsiccia di fegato, a pork-based product made with its liver, heart and tongue, and a mix of some lean and fat meat. Cozze ripiene. Typical of the Trabocchi coast, we are talking about mussels stuffed with a mixture of breadcrumbs, garlic, parsley, extra virgin olive oil, Parmesan cheese, eggs, and finished with a splash of tomato sauce. Pecorino di Farindola. It's a sheep cheese made in a small mountainous area, located in the heart of the Gran Sasso and Monti della Laga National Park. The secret ingredient that makes it different from any other pecorino and gives it a sweet note is the pig rennet. Its recipe is kept as a strong tradition of the area and passed down through generations. Just to mention a few more products, we might include the ricotta, a creamy white, mild, fresh cheese with a soft texture and a slightly sweet flavor, caciocavallo, a teardrop-shaped cheese made out of cow's milk, and canestrato di Castel del Monte, a special pecorino produced with raw sheep's milk, salt and rennet. First courses. Maccheroni alla chitarra. Fat macaroni made by rolling out egg dough over thin wires stretched on a wooden frame like a guitar. The name alla chitarra, where chitarra means guitar, comes from the sound this particular tool makes. Usually served with pork, goose or lamb ragu, they are very tasty because of the square-shaped graininess and cut that absorb the sauce very well. Ravioli dolci, a variation of the classical ravioli you can eat anywhere in Italy. Ravioli with sugar are typical of Abruzzo and usually prepared during carnival time. Larger than traditional ones and stuffed with ricotta, egg yolk, sugar, lemon and cinnamon. They are ideal for those who like rich and strong tastes. Scrippelle and mousse. The scrippelle are a kind of thin crepe made of flour, eggs and water. The mousse version, a traditional recipe of the Terni territory, is served with hot broth poured over them. Le Virtù, literally the virtues. They come from Teramo too, with a very old and strong history. Usually eaten on May 1st as an event to celebrate the arrival of spring after the harsh winter, it's a dish made of seasonal legumes and vegetables, together with different types of pasta. Second courses, arrosticini. It's what we consider one of the best experiences you should make when traveling in Abruzzo, and we are sure you will love them. They are cubes of sheep impaled on wooden skewers and cooked on fornacellas, a special narrow grill that people use in Abruzzo. Don't be afraid to put the knife and fork to one side, as these authentic treats are traditionally eaten by hand with fresh bread or pane bruschettato and olive oil. Brodetto lavastese. One of the most famous Italian fish soups is the brodetto made in Vasto. Made and served in a white dish called tiella, it's strong connected to the territory and in particular to Trabocchi coast. Porchetta. Another great experience you should make in Abruzzo is built around its famous porchetta, the roast pork dish that dates back to the 15th century. The town of Campli celebrates its goodness with a festival called Sagra della Porchetta Italica. Desserts. Talking about desserts, let's start from those ones you can find anywhere all year round. Ferratelle, also called pizzelle, look like waffles, but they are actually iced wafers cooked in a red-hot plier with large stepped teeth. Tarallucci olivino, also called celli ripieni, are small flaky pastry shells made with flour, olive oil, and white wine, baked or sometimes fried, stuffed with almonds and grape jam. Bocconotti are rustic pastries with stuffings typically made of almonds and chocolate. Mostaccioli, hearty cookies sweetened with cooked grape must. Cicerchiata is a typical dessert of the carnival made of small balls of fried pastry blended with honey and forming a ring-shaped cake. At Easter time, you can leave the table without eating a slide of fiadone, a sweet cheese-based dessert that can be sweet or salty.